Devo Live, Thursday, July 16th edition. And once again, I have launched without changing the date on my little Facebook thing. I just can't seem to remember that. It's just one of those things. I think I'm going to change that entire thing so that it's generic. So that way I don't have to worry about it. It's like one less thing that I got to worry about. Oh, man. Yes, sir. It is Thursday, July 16th. And here we are. Good morning, everybody. Let's see what's happening. Yesterday, I can see my Twitter stuff yesterday. Let me just refresh. And yeah, I'm not coming on Twitter for some reason. Oh, well. Well, you know, that's a bummer. It's a bummer, man. It's a bummer, as they would say, as one of my favorite quotes from the Big Lebowski is that quote. It's a bummer, man. It's a bummer. So, hope everybody's doing okay today. Once again, I am festooned with baseball gear. And it's all Cub related, so the Cubbies. In fact, that is exactly what my jersey says today, Cubbies. This is a Little League jersey. It's this is Javi Baez. So the little when they did a Little League thing one time, they made all these jerseys. They had a Little League night, and so they were celebrating Little League, and anyway, so they made these jerseys, and I just liked it because it says Cubbies. So I picked that up somewhere along my travels, how that goes. Yes, it is Thursday, and we are once again gathered here together. And our group slowly makes its way to the thing, right? So I'm going to share this around the horn here just a bit. So sometimes when I do this, it picks up folks that were not really paying attention, or who forgot, or who maybe just for the very first time they saw that I was broadcasting live, and so I share that for that reason. And so let me share this to our church page so we can get that rolling as well. And that usually attracts some attention. So yeah, good to see everybody and great to be here once again. It is Thursday, which means that tomorrow is Friday. Which is great because I'm going to be playing golf tomorrow, man. I cannot wait. I'm excited to get outside and do some stuff and hang out with the guys that I play golf with. Good group of guys. And we've been doing this now ever since the COVID. Well, we've been coming back together playing since COVID was over for a couple of months. Now those guys play a lot more than I do. I don't get a chance to play as much as they do. I wish I could, but it's a big time commitment, and so I do it on my day off. My day off, which generally is not a day off. So I don't think I really have complete total days off, which is a bad thing, I suppose. I was thinking today that I probably needed to find some time to take my kids and go somewhere and do some hiking, get outside, do something, but it's just stinking hot. So, every time I start to think about that, I'm like, it might be good to go on a hike and go take the kids to some trail and blah, blah, blah. And then I go outside and I'm like, holy camole, it is warm. So I'm not sure, but anyway, I probably need to do something to get outside. It was nice today. I was driving my kid to camp, and it just struck me that was a thing I probably should do. I need to pay attention to those. when they strike you, like you probably ought to pay attention to them. Like, man, your soul is telling you something. You need to go and be outside and see a waterfall, and that kind of thing. Just to kind of break away from all of the news and all of the stuff and all of the junk. But I do stay busy. I got all kinds of stuff going on. Today is going to be sermon writing day. Today, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be writing the sermon for this Sunday, and doing the Devo for tomorrow, which I do not have done yet. So that'll happen, and then kind of getting ready for. I'm working on a survey that's going to go out to our congregation. That's going to be it's going to be a survey that kind of assesses where everybody is in terms of, just kind of checking on them, making sure everybody's doing okay, and also assessing, once again, we're assessing, how people are feeling about coming back to in-person worship, at some point, because we are going to have to make a decision very soon. In fact, on Tuesday, we're calling an elder meeting, and we're going to make a decision about how we're going to roll the rest of the year. So I kind of want to have a decision that we can just count on. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to just say, this is the thing that we're doing, and we're just going to move forward with this, rather than have things always be up in the air. Of course, everything is up in the air anyway. Things change so rapidly, it's crazy. So, I mean, obviously, any decision that we made could be impacted by things that happen in the world, and so forth. But it appears that the situation is a lot grimmer than when we even shut down the first time, right? So, which kind of shows you, like, if we hadn't shut down, it would have gotten worse, like way back when. We averted a lot of stuff back then, but now it's the piper is being paid, man. So we're dealing with it. I noticed that Walmart has now required, in all Walmart stores, you have to wear a mask to go in the store. And so it's kind of interesting that Walmart is acting more responsibly than the governor of Georgia. And now I'm sure Walmart has its own best self-interests at heart, right? Because they're probably worried about their employees and so forth getting sick and then losing their workforce. And the ability to stay afloat requires people actually being there to work, and so they're trying to take precautions to make sure that their workforce is safe. But that tells you something when basically one of the world's largest retailers basically makes a blanket statement over the United States. No matter what the state is mandating, no matter what's going on, that you have to wear a mask to get in. I can't wait for the videos that will be produced online of all of the people that are going to try to go into Walmart in their little town without their mask on because it's their right to do so. Yeah, it's going to be lots of cool video, I'm sure, of angry people. Although I will tell you this, man, there's some dudes that have gotten fired from their high-paying jobs because they went off and rants, like at Costco and in other places. They went off and got mad because somebody told them they need to put their mask on, and then they started saying racist stuff or other kinds of things. Out of the abundance of the heart, Jesus said, the mouth speaks. And so when somebody gets agitated or threatened or whatever, that's when all of that bile and all of that junk that they mask and they hold down, in their day job, right? It all comes out. And so it's been kind of cool to watch the swift retribution for people misbehaving in public, and then somebody putting it on video and posting it on social media, and then their company just there was a guy whose own company, like a company that he founded, they fired him because of some stuff that he said, can you imagine what Austin would have been like if they hadn't canceled South by Southwest? It would have been a nightmare. It would have been a disaster. It was, I mean, that's talk about tough to see. South by Southwest brings in $360 million to the economy of Austin, Texas. 360 million. I mean, and to make that call, I mean, I can't even imagine. That was a hard call, but it was the right one, obviously. But yeah, so it's been bizarre to see people get violent by having to wear a mask. How is it different than no shirt, no shoes? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like it's like I go back to that thing that I said the other day. Your freedom ends this in the 6 inches in front of your face. You know, that's what I learned when I was a little kid. I remember somebody teaching me that when I was a little kid. That's what freedom was all about. Yeah, so somebody is texting me. Are you live? Why, yes, I am live. I am alive, right? Yes. I am responding, yes. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, so sorry. Yeah. But at any rate, when I saw it, I that's what I thought when I first saw the text was like, "Are you alive?" And I'm like, I hope so. I feel like I am. I feel more alive today than I did yesterday. Yesterday, I was still struggling with my neck issues and all of my. Well, I still am. I mean, I'm still in pain, but my neck and my arm, and I'm just falling apart, man, because I carry all my tension like in my upper back and my neck, and so it radiates. All that pain just radiates everywhere. So I went to masseuse yesterday at my gym, and she's really good. She's also a person of faith, and so we talk about faith issues and all kinds of stuff. I'm one of those people. I don't mind talking to the masseuse as long as I know them, and this one I know her pretty well. I've gone to her many times, and it was, they take all the precautions. They do all the stuff, that in terms of cleanliness and mask wearing and all the things that you have to do. But yeah, so it was wonderful. To be able to get some work done. I'm going to have to go back next week. So, I mean, I'd go back today if I could, but I know I need to take a break. It was pretty intense. But man, oh man, was I in pain, and it was keeping me up at night. I couldn't sleep well. So last night I slept pretty good. I woke up for the first time without like shooting pains going through the back of my neck. I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be normal. Amazing. Yeah, so if somebody wants to tell Phyllis, I don't know what's going on, but I think Phyllis is on. Shout out Phyllis. But if somebody that is able to tell Phyllis that I'm live and I'm on Facebook, so I appear more alive than my downstairs AC unit. Yeah, man. And I called yesterday, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't come today," and I'm like, ah. So yeah, my office is probably now the hottest room in the house, just because of where it's located, and it just doesn't get a lot of the. So my upstairs unit works, my downstairs unit doesn't. So I had to open up the door that goes to my dad's side of the house and have him run his air conditioning, so that we could get some air to the downstairs a little bit, and then. Man, I mean, you're doing what you can. At least I've got one unit going, but who knows how long that'll go if I don't get any work done. I'm afraid now, man. I'm gonna have to replace that whole unit, man. And that's, oh gosh, it's like, it's like a couple of grand at least. So, alas and alack. But that right there is an expense that you cannot avoid, right? I mean, that's just something that you can't avoid. Okay, so just to kind of give you guys some ideas about what's going on in the world and what's in our world, the Shepherd of the Hills world, and the wider community, all of you who are tuning in today, and it's great to see it's great to have all of you. there's trivia. So we're having movie trivia. So that's going to be super fun. I'm excited about that. And we have a prize tonight. The prize will be a gift certificate to Little Dottie Burgers. So for those of you who are not from Austin, there is a burger place here called Hop Dottie, which is just ridiculous. Like, they have ridiculous hamburgers, and they have all kinds of other food too. But they're no, hamburger place. That's what they're known for. Gourmet hamburgers, like all kinds of combinations. I mean, just ridiculous. In fact, I want one right now so badly. I think I was looking at. I'm gonna look on my Weight Watchers app right now, and I'm gonna see how much. I'm not gonna do Hop Dottie because I know that that's gonna be like ridiculous. But I'm gonna do In-N-Out because I really, for some reason, want an In-N-Out burger. Holy cats! All right, so In-N-Out cheeseburger with onion is 16 points. Ugh, that's a lot of points, man. An In-N-Out cheeseburger without the bun is 10 points. Wow, that is tempting. In-N-Out cheeseburger with onion, mustard, and ketchup. No bun. So it looks like I could get my normal one, which is the In-N-Out double double. And that with onion and like some of the stuff would be 17 points. So I think I might have to take a trip over to In-N-Out Burger today. I'm going to tell you the power of suggestion right now. Okay. I don't know where this came from, but I know what it did. I remember now. I was so groggy this morning when I was drinking my coffee. I was posting my Devo for today, and I always post it on Tumblr. So Tumblr is like a blogging site and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's really cool. It's like one of the things that it's better than Facebook for like content and interesting, quirky kind of stuff. And you can follow all kinds of weird things, and I just like it. I've always liked it. It's one of the social media sites that's really kind of not social media. It's more like content driven. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is Tumblr is the name of it's tumblr.com, right? So I'm just gonna put this up on the message board. So it's tumblr.com. So that's what it looks like. If you can see my little caption down there at the bottom, you can see tumblr.com. And so that's what that is. So Tumblr is where I found the thing that I found today. It was an advertisement for In-N-Out Burger shoes. So they make like Vans. They look like the Vans shoes, like slip-on, but they look like the drink cups. Like they have the little palm trees and all that stuff on it. And I wanted them so badly. In fact, I still do. But when I saw that, not only did I want the shoes, and I was like, those shoes are dope, but I was like, oh my gosh, I want an In-N-Out burger so bad right now. Because what I really want is I would love In-N-Out burger double with cheese, and then an order of fries animal style. And for those of you who have never been to In-N-Out Burger, then you may not know what animal style is, but think like special sauce, like the McDonald's special sauce, only better, and grilled onions, and they put that and cheese on the fries. It is redonkulous. It is amazing. So you got to get them animal style if you go. So you have my blessing, folks, to go forth today and go to the In-N-Out Burger drive-thru and order yourself a burger and some fries animal style. Also, if you go online and look at In-N-Out Burger's secret menu, you will be able to access all kinds of different combinations of burgers and fries and stuff that you can get. It's sort of like Torchies. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Torchy's secret, but you can order. They don't have stuff online. You have to actually order. I don't know why I'm doing this. Just because I like being with you guys so much, and I like talking about all of this kind of stuff. Okay, so there are 7 secret tacos on that Torchy's will make for you. And there's the Jack of Clubs taco, which is a breakfast taco, and that one's pretty amazing. Green chili pork missionary style taco. The Ace of Spades taco. Mad Cow. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And the Matador, which is my favorite. That's my favorite off the secret menu. Yeah, that's some really, really, really good stuff. So if you ever get a chance to look at the secret menu of Torchy's or the secret menu of In-N-Out Burger, you'll be able to definitely you'll be able to definitely get something awesome. Oh man, the taco of the month at Torchy's right now is the Prawn Star. The Prawn Star. Coconut lime shrimp ceviche. Wow. That does sound good. I bet that's not many points on Weight Watchers either. I know. I love Whataburger too, but you know what? I actually love Whataburger a lot. I have a hard time, man. I have a really hard time. I know In-N-Out Burger's from California, but now Whataburger is owned by a Chicago company. So there you go. Don't Chicago up my Whataburger. But Whataburger is awesome as well. I love me some Whataburger. And I first started going to Whataburger in Tallahassee, Florida, way back, like when I was going to school there. So this is like 1998, and there was a Whataburger that was opened in Tallahassee, and that was the first time I'd ever had a Whataburger before. There were several in Florida, as a matter of fact, but they were all near college towns. There was one near Gainesville. I can't even say the name of that town. We just call it Hogtown. Those of us who do not like the University of Florida Gators. And so Hogtown. So anyway, yeah, there was a Whataburger near Gainesville. There was a Whataburger near Tallahassee. They were all in the north part of the state, basically. I guess because of distribution. But man, I love me so much. Man, I'm so hungry, y'all. I can't stand it. I am really hungry now. So yeah, I think the In-N-Out Burger is going to have to happen today. I had Whataburger not too long ago. I love P. Terry's. P. Terry's is one of my go-tos as well because it's cheap. But I love Mighty Fine, man. I really do. Like if you had to, for our family, if you took a poll of all of my family members, they would probably pick Mighty Fine. My youngest son would pick it because of the hand washing station, which now is genius, right? The hand washing station in Mighty Fine Burgers, that needs to be. If I had access to one of those to put one of those at our church, I would totally do that. But yeah, I miss Meredith. No, I do miss Meredith. Meredith is an amazing cook. And she's incredible. I mean, incredible cook, actually. She's very, very, very talented. And she does it up right when she's home. But I have gotten a lot better, mostly because of what I've learned from her. So we had fish tacos last night. We had mahi tacos, which was a great Weight Watchers dinner. So that we had mahi street tacos. And I had brown rice that I turned into Spanish rice through powers of alchemy and turmeric, and some black beans. And so yeah, it was a really good dinner. But I'm trying to start to cook more fish. And Meredith is really good at it. She's just really good. But I do miss Meredith. and not just for her cooking, but for all kinds of things. But I'm going to get to see her in about a week or so. We're going to spend a week together without children. Ha ha! That'll be amazing. All right, let us get to the baseball trivia. And I don't see Neil on here today, man. So more's the pity. Because back in, but I've got a baseball movie that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so this book, okay, is let's see. Let me look at this really quickly just to make sure I got my names right. So this is this movie actually starts off. This baseball movie starts off in Chicago, and it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, so it's not just a great it's not just a great baseball movie. It's a great movie. So this baseball movie was based on a book that was written by Bernard Malamud. Okay, so Bernard Malamud was, if I'm not mistaken, Bernard Malamud was he was a Jewish author. He was, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So he he wrote like a ton of stuff. And I've read several of his short stories when I was an English lit major. And so anyway, Bernard Malamud wrote this book, okay, wrote the book that this movie was based on. And the book was based on a story from the stories of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Okay, so there was a particular story in the King Arthur tales that Bernard Malamud it captured his imagination, and he was able to translate that story into a baseball story and wrote a book about it. And then that book was made into a movie. Okay, the story that the book was based on was the story of Sir Tristram, right? Sir Tristram, who was a knight that had unbelievable promise, right? He came out and in the jousting and in the fighting and so forth, he was better than everybody, right? And everyone was amazed. But then he became seduced. Patty Rink got me. He became seduced by a temptress who was a sorceress, right? Who ended up trying to kill him, and he ends up, because like it was her thing that she had to kill the knight that was the best knight of all knights, right? And so she wounds him, and then he carries with him this wound for the rest of his life, but then returns after many years of exile, and then becomes a knight again, right? So obviously, several of you have gotten this. It is, of course, The Natural. Based on a book, based on a story from King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. So it is The Natural, starring Robert Redford, and gosh, it also had Kim, what's her name? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna look at this really quickly because of the cast. I think it had Barbara Hershey. Look at the movie really. Cast. I'm looking at the cast. I can't see it. Hold on. There it is. Natural IMDb. So it had Robert Redford. Glenn Close. Glenn Close was in it. And Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall was the guy that was a sports writer. So he was a sports writer that figured out who the guy was, right? So Robert Redford is a guy named Roy Hobbs, who is a baseball player that is unbelievable. Like, he's like better than anybody. In fact, they have this made up scene where he basically strikes out as a pitcher, basically strikes out the character that is, Babe Ruth, right? So it's not Babe Ruth, but it's Babe Ruth. Kim Basinger, that's right. Kim Basinger plays the temptress who tempts him. And if I'm not mistaken, no, that I'm wrong. Kim Basinger is not the temptress. It is Barbara Hershey. I was right. Ha ha. And Richard Farnsworth plays the guy that is the manager. So the interesting thing about that movie is the team that, so he goes to play for the Cubs, right, or the Chicago team, and he's going to play for him. He's going to be amazing. He's like going to be the best. He wants to be the best that's ever been, and he leaves behind the girl that he was his girlfriend, which is Glenn Close, and doesn't realize that he got her pregnant before he left. And so he's like he's kind of, you know what I mean? He's not a good guy. He's not a good guy. So he ends up getting seduced by this woman, Barbara Hershey, who shoots him. And then he recovers, but then is never the same, right? Until years and years later, he finds his way back to a pro baseball team, the New York Knights. The New York Knights. And so that's a pretty cool. The team itself is hearkening back to the story. Fantastic movie. Go watch it. If you've never watched it, go watch it. It's got one of the great soundtracks of any movie, and including the main song. The main song that's played is a song called "Hit the Cover Off the Ball," and it's just that movie makes me cry every time I watch it. I cry like a baby. So go watch it. The Natural. It's a wonderful movie. Bad News Bears. Man, the Bad News Bears. That was a raunchy movie. Walter Matthau, Tatum O'Neal was in that, so that was a pretty funny movie. All right, let's go to the Daily Devo today. So after all that frivolity, I'm going to bring us down a bit. Because today's Daily Devo was a reflection that I had after I was helping a family plan a funeral. So one of our not a church member, she was a regular attendee, had been attending the church pretty much since I got here, her and her family. And her name is Beth Hughes, a sweet lady. I'm not sure if many of you knew her. They were just the kindest. She was the kindest lady, very genteel, amazing woman. Would always tell me every Sunday as they were leaving, she'd be like, "Thank you, darling," every Sunday. So anyway, I was helping them plan her memorial service, which is going to be Saturday. And so I started, my mom passed away, almost 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years ago in October. So, I think about her a lot, and during this pandemic and all of the things that have been going on and all of the things that I've been struggling through, I think about her more often because my mom was like my confidant. My mom was the one that I would go to, and she would listen without judgment. She wouldn't, try to offer advice, unless it was like really kind and, gentle sort of way of offering advice. I mean, when she offered it, you knew that she was serious, but she was a listener. She listened and helped you figure out your own junk by just being patient and being a non-anxious presence. And so, yes, helping a family plan memorial for their mom. And as I said, she was a sweet, sweet woman. I had the opportunity to visit her shortly before she died, and it was all grace to be able to say goodbye to Beth. It was a holy moment, if you will. I cannot tell you how many times in my pastoral career over the past 20 years that I have I have had the opportunity to sit with someone in their last days, sometimes even in their last moments, many, 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 many times. And it's always holy. It is always amazing, and and so these kind of things always get me thinking about my mom. I miss her every day, but lately I've been missing her more than usual. My mom always had a way of taking even the worst situations and finding the good in them. The grace that she brought to tragedy and trial was often the very thing that would help the rest of us see the silver linings in the clouds that enveloped us. So throughout these last few months, I have often wondered what she would have said about all that we're going through with COVID and all the conflict over politics and injustice issues. My mom was not just one of the kindest people I've ever known. She did not have a prejudice bone in her body for anyone. It didn't matter who you were, where you came from, what your skin color was, what your sexual identity. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. She loved everyone. She had not a single prejudice bone in her body, um, and just was had grace for everybody, even the worst people. She would always try to figure out how to say something kind about them. And I've even asked her out loud in quiet moments about these things as I've looked out on the flowers blooming in my flower beds and watched the birds feeding in the bird feeders as she loved to do. That's why the bird feeders are there, was because she wanted them, and I keep them filled and keep them uh, hung because of her. And I've imagined that as I've been asking her these things, that she was listening. Sometimes I feel like I can hear her whispering a response in the wind rustling in the trees or the birds singing around me as she speaks grace to me, telling me to look closer, to see more clearly. In his poem, The Wild, Wendell Berry once wrote about the flowers that he saw growing in a vacant, blighted lot in the middle of a dilapidated city neighborhood. And this is what he said. I'll put it in the comments here. If you've never read any Wendell Berry, I would recommend that you do. He's pretty amazing. But yeah, here is what he said. Of these flowers that are growing in in a vacant lot that's covered in trash, but they're the habit of this wasted place. In them, the ground is wise. They are the remembrance of what it is. I love that whole stanza, but the last line is an absolute revelation. The ground is wise. They are its remembrance of what it is. Underneath all of the struggle and the conflict, just below the surface of the devastation, is a memory of the truest things. There's no escaping the reality that things are not always as they should be. There's no way to duck the challenges that come. There's no way for us to avoid death in all of its forms, the death of dreams, loved ones, the way things used to be. But there's a memory that lives within all of us that is grounded in resurrection hope, placed there before the beginning of time by the one who longs to bring new life to what we left for dead. Theologian and philosopher Friedrich Hegel once wrote that the truest expression of Christian hope is to recognize that eternal life is like this. And let me put it in there. Not a life that shrinks away from death or remains untouched by devastations, but a life that endures death and bears death in itself is the life of the Spirit. And the mystery of this kind of life is that it is outside of time, everlasting and forever. When we learn to accept that the death of things is not the end of them or of us, we find the freedom to truly live. My mom understood this in her gentle and straightforward way. She understood this mystery and she lived it, imperfectly at times, but still she lived it. And her memory is always beneath the oft cluttered, blighted ground of my soul, a ground made wiser because of her, a ground that remembers who I really am and who God is to me. May the grace and peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you now and always. Amen. That one's from my mom. So I hope that there was something in there that spoke to you. I hope that there are things in your life that you thought were left for dead, things that you've lost during all this, things that you mourn, things that you have thought will never be the same again. And maybe they won't be. But I do want you to know that the ground is wise. The ground beneath all of that in you is wise, and it remembers. And so let you remember as well, right? Remember who you are and remember who God is to you. I want to give a shout out today to my good friend, Ken Lauber, who is one of my church members and also my golfing buddy. And he's also become recently my cigar supplier. He definitely hooked me up lately. He got rid of I don't know how many things. I have so many cigars. My wife said to me, "You'll never have to buy cigars again." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm smoking them pretty fast." So shout out to Ken Lauber today. It is his birthday, and I'm looking forward to being with him tomorrow. Him and Jim Abercrombie and my friend Lewis Herlin. We're going to play a little golf. So I'll be shooting the video for today's Devo today, and I'll make sure that it's posted. It's going to be a premiere on the Shepherd of the Hills Facebook page, and then I will share it to my page, and then I'll share it to other groups and so forth. But we'll do a little one more baseball movie, which I'm trying to make them more difficult because you guys keep just guessing all the baseball movies. Bull Durham, Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is one of the quintessential baseball movies, right? So at any rate, but we'll have some more of that tomorrow, and there'll be a Devo. And it'll be on video. And make sure that you are tuned in this weekend. We're going to be doing church at 9:30 a.m. Central and on Sunday. And tomorrow we're going to be doing our mask giveaway. For those of you who made the cut and were able to get in and get your masks reserved, we will have masks for you tomorrow afternoon. Kathy and Stephen and I will be there to distribute masks and to have some fun with y'all. And we've ordered more masks. They're on their way. So we're going to be getting more of those in a few weeks as well. Have a great day, guys. Be blessed. Love you all. And I hope you have a fantastic Thursday.